let me explain about the number system. So in the number system we have different sets of numbers. For example, n is the natural number. What do you mean by natural number? It is a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. and so on up to infinity. W means whole number. That includes 0. So you have to start from 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay. So it means the whole number includes the natural number. Am I right? So I can write this a whole number as 0. Okay. And union then natural number. It means I can combine these two. So we have the whole number W. It means it includes natural number also. So the natural number, the whole number is bigger than natural number. Is it not? Because it includes 0 also. Right? Then integers. The integers are represented by Z, integers. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, etc. So that is a minus Z is equal to, you can start with minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay. So it means Z, the integer is bigger than whole number. Okay. So this is the integer, right? And the ration number is represented by P by Q form. Okay, where Q is not equal to 0. Otherwise it cannot be determined. Any number divided by 0 cannot be determined. So Q is not equal to 0. So it can be a ration number either in the decimal form or in the fraction form. For example, it can be 1 by 2 or it can be represented as a 0.5 as a decimal. So all fractions are included here. Okay. So definitely this ration number is much bigger than what? This is the ration number. Okay. We can put ration number and ration number we can put rational number. And out of this rational number we have got certain values like for instance irrational number. Okay, what is that? Irrational number. So what are those irrational number? Irrational numbers are, okay, irrational numbers are the values like pi, square root 2, etc. And this is also represented by P by Q, but the problem here is we will discuss separately rational number versus irrational number. So this is out of the scope of rational number. So you can write here irrational number. Irrational number is out of that. Okay. Now, and this is something different. And all inclusive, including everything. Okay. So this is called real number. I hope now you should be able to understand the nature of this real number. This is called number system. In fact, we have other set of numbers also like complex number. We will discuss in higher classes about this. Okay. So let us confine to real number only, because complex number deals with imaginary number. I will tell you what so that we can extend later about this. A complex number means, that is, when I say real number, you can ask me, sir, is there any unreal number? Yes, that is called imaginary number. For example, square root of 4. What do you mean by square root of 4? It can either be plus or minus 2, correct? Because plus 2 into plus 2 is equal to 4, and minus 2 into minus 2 is also 4. So when I say square root of 4 means you have to include both plus and minus. Are you able to follow? So plus or minus 2 is the answer. Clear? Right. Suppose if you have minus 4, you know very well, very well. Plus into plus, plus.
Yes.
Minus into minus, plus. Plus into minus, minus. Minus into plus, minus only. So in fact when you square, it should be an identical number. So in that case, I cannot take this as, that is, listen to me, either minus 2 or plus 2. Both are incorrect because this is minus 4. So I can do one thing. This minus 4 can be written as root 4 into root of minus 1, correct? Because we know the value, we know this formula, that is root A into root B is equal to what? Root AB.
Root AB.
We can split like this. So similarly, this root minus 4 can be written as root 4 into root of minus 1. Now this is the real number because plus or minus 2 is the answer.
Yes.
But for this one, you know, the square root of minus 1, it is totally imaginary. And that is why it is represented as, that is I is equal to root of minus 1. You should remember this. We will use this number, imaginary number, okay, and that is represented as a complex number in future, in higher classes, say in 11th and 12th standard. So let us not worry about this. It is that is beyond the scope of your content. Clear? So since just for your understanding, I have explained this. Okay. Now we have the entire number system means, that is complex number. It includes everything, because a complex number can also be represented. A real number can be represented as a complex number also. Okay. So those details can be explained later, right? Okay. So in this case, what I want to stress is, at least you should know what is natural number. So what is natural number? 1, 2, 3, etc. What is a whole number? 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. What is integer? Minus 3. Yes, positive number. Minus 1, 0, 1, 2, etc. And what about ratio number? This can be represented by P by Q form. Okay, but this is also represented as P by Q. But what makes the difference, that we will discuss now. Okay, take down. So are you able to understand this system? This is called number system. Okay, right. Now let us proceed. So here I want to differentiate the real number, the rational number versus what? The irrational number. That we will explain. I will give some examples also so that you can easily understand this. Okay, take down. Rational number. Rational number. Write down. Rational number. And irrational number. So we want to find out the difference between these two. Okay. So rational number, irrational number. Remember this, IR means IR. IR means irrational. It is the prefix for the opposite of rational number. Is it not? Ir means what? Respective, irrespective. Relevant, irrelevant. So IR, that prefix indicates the opposite term. Relevant, irrelevant. So IR means not. So IR means not. Okay, note down. IR means not. So not means which is nothing but non, correct? Another prefix for not. Okay.
Yes.
So you can easily identify this. For example, rational number is a fraction. Take down. Rational number is a fraction. Okay. Rational number is a fraction. A rational number, they are integers. They can be integers. Rational numbers can be terminated decimals. Terminated decimals. Rational numbers can be that is repeated decimals also. Repeated decimals. I'll explain one by one. For example, fraction means it can be 1 by 2, correct? Or it can be 1 by 4, right? And integer means, for instance, 5 is the integer, and that can be represented as 5 by 1 also. So an integer can be represented as a fraction also. Anything divided by 1 gives the same value, is it not? If you want to put 100, means 100 divided by 1. That is, 100 is what? Integer. So divided by 1 means, so this can be represented as fraction also, but still it is integer. So do you understand? So ration number can be fraction, ration number can be integer. Do you understand? Right. And the ration number can be terminated decimal. How? Let me take this 1 by 2. What is the value of 1 by 2? 0.5. That is terminated. It is not continuing. Are you able to follow? And ration number, for example, 1 by 4. What is that? 0.25. It is finished. It is terminated decimal. So this is called terminated decimal. 0.5 is terminated. Terminated means what? End. There is an end for this. 0.5, that's all. And non-terminated, that is a repeated, recurring decimals are there. For example, let me take 1 by 3. Okay. So when you divide 1 by 3, what will happen? 0.3 times 9 balance 10, 3, 9 balance 10, 3 and so on. So this is called non-repeated decimal. What is that? Repeated decimal. Is it clear? Right. And this, there will be some pattern here. So the 0.3 is repeated. So this can be represented as it goes on. This can be represented as 0.3 bar. It means the 3 is repeated. Are you able to follow this? Right. Now let us consider irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are, that is, non-perfect squares. Note down, they are non-perfect squares. Non-perfect squares means what? For example, root 4 is perfect square, is it not? Root 4, that results plus or minus 2. Root 9, plus or minus 3. But what about root 5? Okay? It is non-terminating. Similarly, root 2, 1.4 and 4 and so on. It will go on. And pi value. So 22 by 7 means that is also going on. 3.14 etc. It will move. So it means that is root 2, root 3. These are all called irrational number. Do you understand? Why they are called irrational number? Because they result non-terminated decimals. Take down. Are you able to follow? Non-terminated, non-perfect. And the third one is, it is non-terminated. Not only that, that is non-repeated. There is no repetition. There is no pattern of repetition. So this is non-what? Repeated decimals. Are you able to follow? I hope now it is very clear. The difference between rational number and irrational number. So what are rational number? All integers, and the rational number can be represented by P by Q, and they can yield either terminated decimal or repeated decimal. It may be non-terminated, but still it is repeated. But in this case, they result non-terminated decimal and non-repeated decimal. Are you able to follow this? Okay. It will go like this: 1.4217 If it goes like this, there is no repetition and there is never ending. Such numbers are called what? Irrational number. That is called irrational number. So the best examples for irrational number, that is a root 2, root 3, pi value, etc. and these are all non-perfect squares. Got it? Okay, right.